now, coming out from position 1. They can take out pretty much the whole map. Into the breach, they try to take it out of someone else's book and use this Dragon Knight, use this Ricky. A lot of heroes that can get on top of Lina. They have a bit of a global presence. Sleeping Dart, Nature's Prophet TPs, Dawnbreaker with the ulti. So I want to see how that's going to plan out. There's a lot of wave clear on side of OG. This is going to be difficult not to crack, I would say. They do have decent amount on side of Into the Breach, Nature's Prophet, Dragon Knight with his dragon form. And looking at the odds from esportsbet.io, OG heavily favored in this one. I think maybe I would give some edge to Into the Breach here as well. You know, give them slightly better odds.
Yeah, I don't think their record really tells the entire story of how this team has been playing. I think we've seen a lot of positives out of this team. Coming into the season, I think the outside viewer may have thought that Into the Breach wasn't even going to win a game coming into the Western Europe region.
I never felt so far. Ooh, Kidaro getting blasted there, down to half HP. I mean, half HP of Crystal Maiden is not really a lot, but whatever. In their games, they don't really like lose that hard. There were some relatively one-sided games, but this is the team that knows how to play. Have a bit of a different draft compared to some other teams. I would even compare them to Entity, where they have a bit of a different mentality, the way they draft overall. And look at some of the matchups. Dragon Knight against BZM's Invoker. He's always a 3 to watch. Dragon Knight here should be okay. Now you have Invoker with the Exort. You have decent amount of stuns, stun on every side lane with LSA and Sand King stun, so you could get those stuns for the Sunstrike. And I'm looking at this bottom lane. I don't think it's gonna be easy for Into the Breach to play it.
Ooh, there's a stun already. Kidaro on the run and eats that Fairy Fire. If they can get one more shot from Misha, maybe even a Sunstrike being thrown, it's still available. Maybe they could have landed it on Kidaro and gotten that kill. It was exactly what you were talking about, right? Like, maybe lead with a stun and get that Sunstrike. So, the bottom lane, also the top lane, feels like for OG there could be some kills to be had, especially if there is a Sunstrike that's going to follow. You've got the stun, you'll be continually harassing these heroes down with Illuminate if you land it. Like, these heroes are going to be sitting low if they're not in the proper position from Into the Breach.
It's tricky for Sand King. First couple of levels, he's really not that strong of a hero. He does, once you have a second point in the Sandstorm, it gets much easier. DM in trouble.
As sentries down for both teams. Blink Strike on a DM. Odeker is going to get first blood on DM. Just goes in a bit too far. That sentry ends up being cleaned up at the end of the day, but they got the kill.
They decided to shift things around. It's going to be Immersion playing this Ricky. They needed someone to frontline a little bit more for Nature's Prophet, because the bottom lane would be very difficult playing 2 melees into Lina and Trian, so they decided to swap things around. Kidaro, pull is open, so he will try to pull it. And this is big. Misha is pulling a small camp for now. Yuragi having a complete free farm in the bottom lane, sitting at 11 CS. Okay, and very good for him.
How do you deal with that? Like, if Yuragi is just going to have a free time here, does it rely on you getting, like, level 2, level 3, where you Frostbite into a Starbreaker and hope you could kill Yuragi while avoiding those LSAs?
They'll try to play aggressive once Jibe hits level 3 with the Celestial Hammer. Thing is, you have Nature's Prophet, Treant Protector with a Leech Seed. Like, if he matches the level of Jibe, he puts another point in Leech Seed, you're not going to have enough burst damage to bring Lina down.
And you've also got that value point of the Living Armor, too, so going after Yuragi feels like it will be futile for Into the Breach if they don't get that +1 help. And there really hasn't been much aggression from Into the Breach, and you kind of talked about their similarities to Entity, who are a very aggressive team when it comes down to it, so I do wonder what we'll see in terms of aggression in that bottom lane from Into the Breach, if anything from them. But top lane, we saw stun into Illuminate. That's pretty much the combo, and maybe a Sunstrike. So, just 1-0 for Into the Breach. The lane's going well for Odegaard.
He's hitting at 13 denies, Sand King only 5 CS. I think you need to start making some stacks for Sanking. He's going to be their playmaker. Otherwise, you have Invoker who doesn't have a hero to play with. Jibe dropping low, and you can see Misha soaking up the damage.
Starbreaker lands. Misha going down to this Dawnbreaker, stepping up a little bit too far. Maybe not expecting that kind of damage from the Dawnbreaker Crystal Maiden combo.
If this is any other lane, this Crystal Maiden plus Dawnbreaker, you would probably be sitting at the 3 or 4 kills already. It's a killer lane, Frostbite plus Crystal Nova, and then easy setup for Jibe to land his spells. They don't have enough damage. Immersion being very annoying on this Riki. Still yet to see a Sunstrike from BZM. He's doing very good on a mid lane, sitting at 23 and 6. Does have a power treads, not going for what I call like a greedier Invoker build. So he feels that he needs to do something. He can't just rely on the side lanes to go better. Especially, I mean, there's these are professional e-gamers, VCup. You know, they talk between each other. DM's like, I'm not having a good time. This Blink Dagger will not come in as soon as I expected it, so you might need to go for something different. This might be like a Drum or a Witchblade type of a build from Invoker.
It's something about you saying e-gamers that really gives me a bit of a chuckle.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Is that the...
That's the term, yeah. You can Google it.
I'll Google it after this game. E-gamers. Pro e-gamers.
Yeah, with the minus.
With a little dash right
Yeah.
there? Okay.
Mid lane. Taiga planted an Observer Ward. A bit of a difficult kill to get unless he lands
Well, the Illuminate.
but not enough. Dragonite, 2 points in Dragon's Blood, had a Fairy Fire available as well, and we can see Kadaro also making a move.
Kadaro needs to be careful. He's under vision. They did place a ward before they went for that Illuminate, and he doesn't have a sentry to clean that up. So the turn looking like it might come. The Illuminate, the Cold Snap, some damage from BZM, and Kadaro turns into this only to die as Immersion's made a rotation. They've got the Elder Dragon form, they'll put down the Ice Wall, but Odegaard joins in, and BZM's in a lot of trouble. Gets into the Ghost Walk, but they throw down a sentry to make sure that they could get this kill.
Ooh, double the value. If they scout the high ground, there's also an Observer Ward, so getting a kill and potentially getting a D ward from that will be pretty nice. They bring the numbers. Man, Odegaard, this is what we call try-hard in the pubs. If we switch to CS, he does have 37 and 25. 25 denies.
Wow. That is up there in the most denies I think I've ever seen this early into the game.
Look at his net worth. 3.6k.
Going
500 ahead of Lina. Does have Wrath of Nature available. So if he lands that one, like damage from last Wrath of Nature is pretty nuts, and it's coming.
Yeah, Wrath of Nature, they go for BZM again. They might even have him TP in towards mid, but he's got the living armor, and he's behind that tier 1 tower. So the teleportation was available to him, but chooses not to make the dive. Still sitting up here towards top free farming. I think more importantly, he wants to finish this Midas, right?
Yeah, definitely. But this will relieve some pressure from Sanking from the side lanes. DM is getting some levels. He farmed a big camp stack. Level 5, 3 points in the Sandstorm. So he's going to be okay-ish. The way this lane started looked very, very difficult for them. And he's going into mech, something that we've seen being super popular nowadays after the nerfs the Wraith Pact, Guardian Greaves, mech. I think it's going to be mech into Blink Dagger. I don't know if you can afford to get straight up Guardian Greaves without no form of initiation.
Yeah, because you really don't have anything unless in some crazy way Misha gets a Blink Dagger fast, but that's not going to happen. Because then you're, even then, relying on just Blink Overgrowth, right?
You could, like, initiate with the... It's a Quas Exort Invoker, so you don't have a Tornado. Misha in trouble.
Now spotted, and the two supports starting to wail away, but BZM comes in with the Cold Snap. Supreme, Dragon Tail onto BZM. They'll also look to go for the ult from the Dawnbreaker, but that doesn't come through, and eventually they still get the kill to BZM. It looks like they'll trade Kadaro. So the Crystal Maiden goes down, and now Immersion caught Burrow Strike, and getting run down by both the Sand King as well as Taiga with the Illuminate. Gets denied by the neutral creep instead, and these treants are hitting away at Misha, even with the living armor. Well, he won't live.
That's a big, some big kills from Into the Breach. This is the second time they managed to kill BZM. It looked like they're gonna go on Misha, and as soon as BZM showed up, they decided to go on him. This ward, in the river from Into the Breach, scouts things out. Like, there is a sentry ward, so next time OG passes there.
Oh, Odegaard hit with the Sunstrike, but Sprout, that's just to push BZM a little bit further away so he gets some distance. Now DM's also moved towards mid, try and farm up and recover a bit. We'll get the difference in supports, though. In terms of, well, I guess just Coddle. He's obviously got the Illuminate to work with. Every other support, just 1,000 gold.
This is some big stacks being made for Sanking. He's also trying to get into Pipe as a position 4 Keeper of the Light. Maybe he will also try to get some, like, sure, he gets gold from it, but Lina can also farm it. Yuragi or Sanking, we'll see who decides to go into Triangle and take those stacks.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I wonder if Into the Breach get over here to contest this.
They're sitting underneath the ward, this deep observer ward place, so they are scouting DM right now.
Nobody coming over, though. See the camp stack. 3 there for Into the Breach. They've got an ancient stack of their own. He's over mid. It's the Light Strike Array. Taiga coming forward and just running at Supreme. Dragon Tail and the ult from the Dawnbreaker this time comes all the way through, but they land the LSA that should be followed up by a Burrow Strike. And Jibe, well, he uses that Solar Guardian and dies for his troubles very quickly.
He got Jibated there by his Dragonite, and good rotation from DM. He's exactly where he needs to be, and does have Epicenter, pushes it back,
but gets stunned. Supreme just sticking with DM. They have Immersion coming over, and now he'll look for it again, but silenced once more. He can't get this ult off.
Guys, please let me use my Epicenter. Sunstrike.
It's Kadaro, but doesn't kill him. Odegaard now starting to farm up these stacked camps, because he's getting really close to this Maelstrom, and Yuragi, he went Falcon Blade Maelstrom, it's Midas Maelstrom for the Nature's Prophet, but they're neck and neck, really.
Now, Lina is that strong, like that speedy of a farmer. One thing to point out about Yuragi's build, I haven't seen it on anyone else, because I thought when he was playing against Rubik, he did not want to give Rubik more than 1 point in a stun, because it's one of the best spells you can steal. So he is just getting stats. It's 1-1-4 and then straight up stats. Usually it's 1 point in Dragonflame because it doesn't scale as much, but LSA scales well in terms of the stun duration and also the cooldown.
Yeah, going down to 7 and having a 2.5 stun duration feels like that's something you might want.
I guess his thinking is, as long as I can survive, like I get some extra armor from Treant Protector, Illuminate, heal, and having extra stats, so I could turn the fight around. There was a game when he was playing Lina, he used the Satanic, and then pretty much the fight was over. BZM getting caught again.
Overgrowth comes through, but BZM still gonna die here, and Misha trying to TP. They have the vision, but they don't have a way to stop the teleport out. And Supreme getting that kill on a BZM, taking out the Invoker. Into the Breach, like we've talked about, they've played aggressive this game thus far, and I think they're doing a really good job of kind of mitigating what OG's trying to execute in this game, right?
And speaking of mitigation, Jibe's going for Pipe on the off-lane Dawnbreaker, not going for anything greedy this time around. This is not like Deso, Shard, Echo Saber type of a build. He understands that the damage from OG is mostly magical. Like even Lina's right clicks, the Maelstrom procs are magical. So they're going to be very tanky. Another one.
BZM silence. Where does he go? Nowhere. Can't even get out. He's just pushed into the grave. 2 hands from everybody from Into the Breach on that one. Laguna Blade. Jibe again, just ain't too far. Yuragi getting a turnaround kill onto the Dawnbreaker.
So they get something out of every kill, pretty much, that Into the Breach gets. They get a core kill, but Into the Breach, they're playing very crisp. Ricky has almost enough gold to buy his shard, which is going to be available in a minute. and then things are going to start to become very annoying. Stun into Nature's Prophet TP, Dragonite with the Blink Dagger, even Dawnbreaker ulti.
This
Oh,
duo.
I see a lot of bank numbers there. He stole like 5 or 6 of the big ones.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Not exactly what you're wanting in that
Dire's middle tower has
stack,
fallen.
but
Well, if they say anything to him, his response will probably be like, yeah, but I made those stacks. He's in
Sure.
trouble now.
Light Strike Array, Sunstrike off the mark, but Yuragi's got more than enough damage to melt the Crystal Maiden.
But you needed thawing.
This is
Dire
family
are
feuding.
scanning.
Yeah, there's always someone in our family that we don't like. Inside the Roche Pit, OG's gonna go. They only killed Crystal Maiden. Let's see how Into the Breach is gonna react to this. They don't have any vision near the Roche Pit. Sandstorm, they can tank things up with the Twin Protector's Living Armor, Fort Spirits.
They have no idea on Into the Breach that this is happening.
This is big. This is huge for OG.
Especially with the pressure that Into the Breach have been putting onto OG at the moment. Getting an Aegis is really going to alleviate that.
Immortality.
That is a great move there by OG to get that Aegis.
I'll take your tribute.
Odegaard, he's got the Mythro Hammer for that BKB.
The seeds of force.
Meanwhile, we saw that Yuragi had got Boots of Travel and going into the Silver Edge.
He's going very greedy. I think he can afford it in this game since he's the one holding Aegis for almost full 5 minutes. Might swap things around depending how the next fight's gonna go. Pretty even game. I think we haven't had more than a 1k gold lead in a 15-minute game, which doesn't happen quite often.
Radiant's
And now
bottom
Yuragi
tower is under attack.
is gonna go inside the enemy jungle, get some farm there.
He's spotted, but Immersion, he's got that shard. You got to be careful. There's the smoke. They are going to see these heroes on OG. Burrow Strike before he can get the sweeping dart off. They've got the Sunstrike. They'll get the kill into Immersion. They'll look for the epicenter, but again, it doesn't get out in time. They'll take out DM. They're on the run. Yuragi doing a lot of damage. Kadaro right into the hands of Misha. Cold Snap, LSA with the damage from Illuminate. And another right click from BZM means they'll lose the Crystal Maiden too.
OG is getting more out of these trades now. Even though they lost Sanking, they still like killed 2 supports, and this might even be the tower. This was also a fight where Supreme was holding on to double damage, but maybe without a Sanking, they're gonna still respect the damage.
Not looking to risk it. Look at this ward placed by Taiga, right by the steps. Interesting spot to place that. We've been seeing a lot of that, right? Like this second step wards in these
I think the best
areas.
ward I have seen is if we go to Radiant's secret shop, like the one that is placed, yeah, like where exactly, yeah, our observer, he knows the spot. Like I haven't seen this ward being used often. BZM again.
Yeah, BZM, he's gonna die here for the 5th time this game. He is half the kills for Into the Breach. They also put DM to sleep. They've got the silence. They need to stick on him, but he'll Burrow Strike away from the hands of ITB. Yuragi, LSA doesn't land, throws a Laguna Blade for his trouble though.
So Yuragi is getting more points in LSA now, which I'm really glad about it. You can almost like perma-stun people with Chakra Magic as well, because it goes down by 6 seconds duration. It's a 7-second cooldown ability once it's maxed out. So they are tanking up. Like they want to get rid of most of the damage that comes out from like Dawnbreaker ulti, Crystal Maiden ulti, like Dragonite. You have a full Guardian Greaves and you will have a full pipe soon.
Right, now they've got this BKB on Odegaard though, so this has to be the moment that ended the Breach fight, right? Like, waiting for this Aegis to time out, potentially get the timing right, or maybe even fight with the Aegis. What would you prefer? Maybe not the right word for that one, or where do you think that Into the Breach want to go?
Still almost 2 minutes left on that Aegis, so might be a bit difficult. Lina is always the hero that has very low on mana, and Keeper of the Light comes in very handy. This time around, Yuragi doesn't need to buy Clarities for himself. He does have Keeper of the Light to replenish his mana.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
There's a full pipe being delivered to Taiga right now.
Compare that to the supports here for the side of Into the Breach, and it's just a full bigger item ahead instead of a shard or something like that. The pipe's going to do a lot here for OG. Immersion's just got shard, Kadaro, Fluffy Hat, Tranquils.
Into the Breach, I think, is going to run into damage issues at one point. Now that, like, Dragonite, he does have a shard. There is a pipe available. Immersion, he's ready to use the Sleeping Dart. Yuragi lands a stun.
Yeah, lands the LSA. That probably means at least Immersion's dead, but it does give them the cue that it's time to leave the Radiant jungle.
It's a 1k gold lead, less than 1k gold lead for Into the Breach. But OG, they are the ones that are making the moves around the map. They are controlling this game for the full duration of Aegis. And Lina, speaking of the neutral items, finds Brigand's Blade, having all that attack speed, and we can see win probability, Dota Plus as well, favoring OG in this one. 58 against 42, plus a double damage. All right, now it's like 75-25.
Taiga. Bottom lane, Kadaro and Jibe here, but they also have Misha over to the side, so Kadaro's going to try to TP out, but Overgrowth committed with a Sunstrike and an Illuminate, so no getting out for the Crystal Maiden.
I don't know if we've seen more than one Overgrowth so far, other than this one. So he's been playing like very patient. This is a 5 treant compared to some other position 4 treants we've seen.
Double damage on Yuragi, but he let the Aegis expire. I think there was maybe 1 or 2 Overgrowths total. That one plus maybe 1 more. But yeah, you're right. It's very not laid back, but like patient. Waiting for the right moment to get a proper Overgrowth. Don't want to waste it on anything, I would say.
Taiga with that gem pickup, getting rid of the Observer Ward. There's still 2 Observer Wards. 4 Into the Breach on the map, 1 deep behind the tier 2 tower that Immersion placed. This is why Ricky is strong, because he's annoying. He breaks the smokes, he set things up, he's cutting you out. BZM going for the full Hurricane Pike. He wants to be able to deal with the Nature's Prophet.
Sprout, Ace had a hard time.
Yeah, like also wants to get out of the trouble. It's a good item pickup, not the like most usual we see. But I think in this type of a game, and he's slightly under-leveled. They had his number throughout the whole game. He's 4, 5, and 2. But still up there.
Yeah, up there and pretty equal with the DK, which is surprising. 5 deaths, and you have as much gold as somebody who hasn't died this game yet. They get the sweep. It's on Amisha. And the Wrath of Nature, the Dragon Tail with the Fireball down. This is an easy kill for Into the Breach. That Odeker will snipe at the last second. Misha even tipping Immersion.
Both Observer Wards devorded. That one was just placed by Into the Breach. Nature's Prophet, he's getting items. Like, you don't click on the hero for 2 minutes, suddenly it's a full Gleipnir, sitting on 1,000 gold as well, and that Hand of Midas gold coming in, and he's super tanky, holding the Pupil's Gift. Has good stats per level. Into the Breach will take a tier 2 tower. Could we please see the graph for the net worth? I think it's like just a straight line. Yeah, pretty much.
It would be if the graph was zoomed out more. This is like max. The reason it's giving you what you didn't want is the max is 1K, so it's peaking. But we zoom out to normal net worths, and it would be what you expected.
Gem. This is big. Oh. This is huge.
We've seen a lot of teams go to these early gems, but the gem was picked up by the Courier of Kotl.
He's there. He was quick with it. He's like, you know what? I'm going to die, and Yuragi realizes what happened.
Wow. I can't believe it.
And perfect usage of the voice line. You know, he died there, drops the gem. Sanking, thinking about going in. DM finally has a Blink Dagger, but no one showing on the mid lane.
Yeah, they're all grouped up in the jungle. You also have Odeker doing his own thing. 2.5 minutes till Roche will be back up.
We still haven't seen like a full team fight, 5-on-5. Yuragi gonna pause the game. Does have a Lincoln Sphere, so that's a big one. This time around, he opted to go for non-BKB build. Might still get it. later on if he feels like he needs it. But against the Dragon Knight, Blink Initiation, Frostbite, and mostly Sleeping Dart, this is going to be pretty huge.
We haven't really felt the massive impact of Sleeping Dart, right?
He did set up a couple of kills, but not one of those games where it's like, yeah, Ricky's getting out of control.
They've given the gem to BZM. So not being helped by Taiga anymore. They're going to wrap. They're going to get towards Supreme. Blink. Burrow Strike misses.
Quick fingers. Supreme still sitting at 0 deaths.
And will continue that way. Sweeping Dart onto Taiga. They smoke again. Right next to them, and they'll drop down the smoke screen. Force Staff back, looking for an Illuminate. Pops out old Burrow Strike. Epicenter, Sunstrike on a Kadaro, but Supreme, he's left by himself. He'll die for the first time this game. The Burrow Strike lands on a Jibe, and they've got the Dawnbreaker in some trouble with the Laguna Blade killing off Kadaro. They've got the Starbreaker with the extra help from the Shard, giving some a magic immunity, but it won't be enough to survive as Uragi's got the triple kill.
This is what I talked about. They are running into damage problems. In terms of network, the game looks pretty even, but when the full 5-on-5 starts, having to play against Sanking, they can reset multiple times, have all this heal from the Spirit form. Oh, they found the gem again.
Yeah, Gleipnir, Illuminate's going to be thrown forward, but another Force Staff. Tricks of the Trade, Tornado lands, Ice Wall, LSA, and Immersion's gone. BKB TP for Odeker.
Ooh, that's a 9-second BKB. Just to get out of the trouble, not what you want to get from it. And now Lina full Silver Edge, so she's going to be able to break Dragon Knight. That's going to be the biggest one. And they might even gonna try to get some damage done on the high ground. Lina still has those Fiery Soul charges. Siege Creep is available. Let's see if Yuragi wants to risk it, or like the safer thing is gonna be waiting for the next Roche, which is gonna respawn in 30 seconds.
Can Into the Breach get over on that and potentially get an Aegis for themselves? It's gonna be tough.
And speaking of damage issues, you see Odeker going into Daedalus straight away. After finishing Gleipnir, he feels like those right clicks they need to get through. Haste, bottom, let's see who's gonna pick it up. Kidaro is there. Misha hiding in the trees, just in case someone decides to get there, but they still have a tier 1 tower to TP to. So, next Roche fight, this is Aegis plus a Shard.
It's also, by the way, Odeker, he's going for this Daedalus, but he's swapped off of Satanic.
Yeah, it's more like that he feels like, I don't need to be as tanky, I just need to deal damage. I need to be able to kill the targets. Because Ricky, Crystal Maiden, they're very low when it comes down to damage output. So is this off-lane Dawnbreaker, like going for the pipe, does have a Shard. She doesn't provide you with much damage.
Right. Just feels like a tanky hero to go in and maybe help you out with the
Same
Solar
goes for
Guardian.
Dragonite. He is tanky, but when it comes down to dealing damage, they don't have that burst, so I don't mind Nature's Prophet with that Daedalus. Roche is up, but seems like OG, they want to get something done before.
Sleeping Dart on a BZM. And now the Blink, the Dragon Tail, the Solar Guardian coming through. They're going to drop down onto BZM, trying to get the damage down, but it gets the Hurricane Pike off. BKB's been popping the Dragon Knight. Ulti here for the Crystal Maiden on the low ground. They're doing the damage onto Jibe. They'll get the kill, but the Gleipnir comes in from Odeker. It's 4, now 5v2. They'll go in with Immersion. He'll Blink Strike in, goes to the Tricks of the Trade. The LSA hits on all 3. Oh, Immersion Supreme. They'll fall. Down goes Odeker. It's perfect from Yuragi.
Misha holding onto that overgrowth throughout this whole duration until they get on top of Yuragi. Then he pops it into 3-man LSA. They just don't have enough. Like, they don't have to kill a single hero. It took them so long. This, yeah, you can see that. I mean, Lina as the hero is pretty nuts. Same goes for Nature's Prophet, but I'm leaning towards Lina. And Jibe bought back. They're not getting anything out of that buyback. So this game looking very rough for Into the Breach. Yeah, Yuragi will pick it up going into Satanic next. We'll have it in the next minute and a half.
Yeah, that fight broke the doors wide open here for OG. Now up 10,000 net worth, just straight up after that one.
You have Living Armor. You're playing against like the right-click damage, so you throw that on Lina, having extra 12 armor. Leech Seed, there's extra Guardian Greaves, which Into the Breach doesn't have on their side. They do have a pipe, But in terms of damage mitigation, OG, they're fully prepared.
So what's the way back for Into the Breach? Because, like you said, damage is lacking, and well, now there's a Riki lacking.
Well, you want me to be honest, or you want me to lie? What's
Do
the way,
both. Go both.
What's
Go both.
the way back? I think this game, Into the Breach has one more fight. Jibe bought back. He doesn't have any scaling items. These two lanes are pushed in already. Riki dead for 30 seconds. They lose the next fight, they can call it.
Now do the lying one.
The lying one is, yeah, if with the proper execution, never mind, I'll stop that.
Burrow Strike LSA, looks like they've got a dead Supreme right there and then. Taiga getting credit for that kill. And
It might not even be a fight. If they get another pick off, the game just pretty much ends.
it's definitely seeming like the truth. They'll try though. See if they can defend. They've got two heroes, not even in the base right
trying.
now.
I see Lina that killed two set of barracks. Otiker taking the outpost.
Here's the TP. Misha shows for a second. And, well, now Odeker with the BKB, but I don't know if it'll matter. They're even going to fight out of their base. DM coming over, BKB. Oh, the timing's not right, but the damage. Oh,
He TP's
oh,
out.
he
Actually
still got
dodges
him.
The Sunstrike.
Oh, Sunstrike him down. They'll go now for Jibe, and they'll get the kill. Oh, OG. It's just so perfect.
Power of the global presence. You can die anywhere on the map.
Immersion. Yeah, you're next. Zaragi's damage is just too much for them to handle. That is really just looking pretty nasty from OG.
OG was very patient throughout the whole game. They did not want to risk anything. Pretty even for almost like 20 minutes in terms of the net worth. Buyback coming out from the immersion, not the biggest one. He has one ability to use pretty
Burrow
much.
Strike. And there's the break. So that means Supreme will die and GG is called. OG take game one over Into the Breach. They break it open in a late fight and then just storm the rest from there.
Clean execution. This bottom lane went into their favor. This is their bread and butter. This is their win condition, as we like to call it. This Lina. BZM got caught multiple